Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. I actually made a list out of some. I don't know if I may have gotten them all. I don't know if I missed any, but some of these things that is so predictable for e-beggars to do. You know, I've been making these videos and adding little bits here and there with other videos for a week or so now. I don't know how long. And I never just wrote them down. So I did that. Now I've been making videos about e-beggars, probably at least one video, maybe every year that I've been making videos on this. That would be my second channel that I have, and it will be 10 years old in April. So, yeah, it's the first one I have, the original one, is just shopping videos. The second one is about a lot of things, especially bad behaviors, toxic people, this kind of thing. Anyway, this one about e-beggars, I started seeing them early on, okay, when making videos. I had my first computer 1982. That's 1982. I've seen plenty. No, before videos were out there, I've seen plenty of ways people do try to get money. Seen plenty of ways people do what they call trolling now. I don't know if the name's been changed, the word's been changed, but back then it was bashing. Okay, bashing, flaming. Yeah, I know flaming has a different meaning. I don't know if that's changed too, because the meaning behind certain words change over time. And there were other ones besides bashing and flaming. They throw darts at you, they this, they that, whatever. Okay, to get to this list, I've mentioned this one already in another video. I think it might be the one I haven't yet put up. And that was that they, this goes over time. Let's say 2 years. Let's just put a thing on it. I've seen so many different ones. Let's just say 2 years. Somebody starts making videos, where they have, let's say on YouTube. I don't know enough about the other ones to really comment and say anything. I know, mainly know YouTube. But I'm not saying that's only on YouTube, because I've heard of other ones. You see what I'm saying? Okay, and it can be any genre. And they can even actually change during it. Jump from one to another. Have more than one channel like me. And have different subjects. So, but this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. And some people who have, some of the people, they have legitimate problems going on in their lives. And you can see those legitimate problems. Now, some of them, they do. Some of them always find something. And they make it, this is how they make their money. They e-beg. That's electronic begging. At least that's how I've always heard it. Like I say, things change before you know it. So they're online begging. And they don't really tell you that's what they're doing. Now, so let me get to it. The one I said was that they'll start off often, like I said, it's not one size fits all, and they don't all do them in the same order. Kind of like, stages of grief. Not everybody does them the same way. But anyway, so this with e-begging, they start off, let's say this, some of them start off saying that somebody left them a really negative comment. Now, I've already mentioned this one in other videos. And that negative comment, you'll never see. You'll never see the comments. And like me, I mean, I'm not an e-beggar. I don't have anything up for all that. I've been making videos for over 10 years. So that's not to say something drastic could have happened to me. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But with these e-beggars, they make everybody look bad. Okay, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. And anyway, so you'll never see the comments. Probably not. Unless they have their own fake account and they use that one to make comments. And I was saying, like me, I see something negative, block, delete. And that block delete goes way back. Okay, so it's not necessarily how it works on every platform. You know, block delete. You know, it could be delete block. It could be whatever it is. And that person no longer gets to leave you comments. Okay, and yeah, they can make their own fake accounts, and that can keep going on and on and on, and eventually, you know, they run out. Eventually, the AI catches them. Eventually, something's going to put a stop to them. They're going to lose their access. Eventually, I've seen that happen. Not to me. Okay. Anyway, so they'll say that a comment was bad, really bad. You're never gonna see that comment, you know, actually see it. They just voice it, and on their video, and then they play the victim. Oh, they were so mean. Let me cry crocodile tears, and they're really good actors and actresses. And you think I think of them really as a mixture of, you know, some would just say, oh, narcissist. No, my view is that it's a little bit of mainly the histrionics, you know, the ones that are drama queens, drama kings, the mean girls, the mean boys. They, you know, they don't care what kind of attention, negative, positive, does not matter as long as they're the center of attention. You know, they don't all do the same thing. It's like I say, not a one size fits all. But they're going to get that attention. And anybody who doesn't agree with them, oh, they're just haters. That's important later on in this, okay? So number one that I've written down, I've mentioned before. Okay, I need to get an ink pen and check them off the list. So don't go over it again, I probably will. Anyway, let's see. Let's see, let me see which one's best next. Okay. Maybe, you know, I didn't put them in any order here, so like I did mention that they have a legitimate problem, but, you know, but they milk it. Okay, they have a legitimate problem for, you know, going on in their lives. Who doesn't? I mean, I should not say that who doesn't, because some people have a extreme. I have an extreme right now in my life. You know, and some people do. I've had mine in my life, all my life, pretty much. So, in this rare health condition. Now that I'm older, 61, whew, it's getting rough. It's 25 years this July, by the way. Will be 25 years that I have not been able to find a suitable healthcare provider for it. Seriously. Seriously. 25 years. So I have a legitimate one. But anyway, like I said, but they milk it. You know, I'm not milking it. You know, I have no anything put up, no PayPals, no whatever. But like I said, I don't say too much because I never know what could happen. None of us do. So anyway, and I'm telling you, and I've said this before, anytime I'm judgmental about something, I wind up having, at some point, some way, I'm tested by my own yardstick. I'm measured by my own yardstick. You know what I mean? Some of you do. So like I said, I'm gonna check that one off. And I also mentioned what is like one of the major red flags for me, and it's often seen pretty early on, really. And that is that they'll say once things start getting rolling with them, you know, that they start doing the live streams, and the people in the chat start giving them super whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called. Okay, once, you know, people start giving them those, whatever it is that you do, you can send them money in chat, you know, when they're doing a live stream, and people are text chatting, whatever it's called these days. But you can also send money. I think the maximum I saw myself just a few days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, not on mine, on somebody else's. I don't do the chats but it was, that one was actually going right then, and it was $500. Wow, I think YouTube takes a certain amount of those. So some people put up, you know, like PayPal, and let's see, PayPal. I know PayPal because it's like the oldest thing I can remember, and I don't have one. And I know the Cash App thing because I watch Catfish. You know what you can learn on Catfish. And I don't know the other one. I would be wrong if I don't know if there's just one other one or what. Yeah, I was losing my voice, and I'm still losing my voice. Oh well. Anyway, why was I saying that? But one of the red flags. Let me get back to this. Like you're stopping me. You're not stopping me. But when they get to where people start paying them, and they have people in chats, and they have, you know, they've crossed that line of 1,000 and whatevers, and they got monetized, and they're getting people are starting to pay them. Then they start calling people their subscribers. They start calling things like, okay, there was a grandpa walking his, I'm guessing grandpa walking his granddaughter home from elementary school. And it was so cute because she's all dressed in pink and her backpack is pink. And he's carrying her backpack. And it just looked so cute. I mean, just really. And I don't put other people's kids in my videos, so that's why I cut it off. But it was really cute, adorable, priceless. There's the right word. Anyway, back to this. When they start, you know, red flag, when they start calling their subscribers my peeps or my people, that possessive kind of thing, that's a red flag to me. Big time red flag. Anytime somebody, to me, when they're very possessive, they use really possessive, the way they say it. Like, I mean, to many of us, when we say my husband, okay, or other people, their wife, you know, my husband, that's not really possessive because it's pointing, you know, our relationship. And, you know, it might be for whatever it is, you know, the doctor. Yeah, well, my husband, he was there, you know, like this. We're not trying to be real possessive. Sometimes you can be. Some people can be. We know that. But whenever somebody online is calling their subscribers my peeps, you know, some of these subscribers, by the way, that get in these chats, you know, when somebody's doing a live stream or they're doing the premieres, these are just because they like to chat. It's not because they like the person. They probably have that person muted. Really. Seriously, because they just like to chat. And there's a lot of people who go around from one to the other. It was like, usually it's just like the same age group, you know, of the person who's making the video. And the people in it, you know, they're within like 20 years, give or take. Like say 10 in the middle, and you see. Anyway, but that's a red flag. My peeps. My people. So, let's see. And by the way, I do know what it's like to be really popular. Seriously. Not on YouTube. No, not on YouTube, because I don't show my face. But on in the past, I do know. Okay, so, like I said, I didn't write them down in any order, but I think maybe, let's see. Here's another one, a comment. Go back to that comment I mentioned, the first one. They might later on say somebody's, you know, they're going to continue to say, especially when maybe funds start getting a little low, they come back up and make a video and say, you know, somebody's let, you know, some people, now it might be many, or they might just do one again. Somebody let them a really bad comment telling them that they shouldn't do this or that online because they don't want to see that. Well, there are some things I know I wish I had never seen people do on live chats or on videos, just on videos. Like some people who, two different couples, married couples. One of them was really bad, and I know for a fact because I saw it. Saw one or maybe two. I don't know how many, but left comments. But they were delivering, delivering food, like doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, those kinds of things, whatever it was. And both of them, both sets of couples. I don't know if they knew one another, but they had a bad habit of one of them. Both of them. One couple, you never saw the man, maybe once or twice, and he was videoing the wife, and somebody left negative comments, and he even told everybody that somebody was leaving him bad comments, saying that she was doing things that I would call lacking hygiene, like inappropriate hygiene. She's delivering. She should not be touching her nose, putting her finger, her pinky in her ear. She should not be doing that with her teeth, putting her hand underneath her armpit. You get the point, right? Pulling on the nose, pulling, and then handling somebody's bag of food. Very, very, very inappropriate. Very should be called on the carpet about it. People say, you don't do that. Look what you're doing. That's somebody else's property. They're going to go home, open the bag and everything, and you touched it with your dirty, filthy hands. Okay, and like I said, both sides were doing stuff like that. And people should call them. Call them on that carpet, man. Isn't that the expression? Unless that's changed again. But yeah, and say, hey, inappropriate. But they made it, they made a deal out of trying to get sympathy. Oh, these people, they're just the haters, like I said. But no, they should be doing it. And some people, some of the subscribers could be at a phase where they're saying, oh, I never saw it, or they'd make excuses. You see, that they say, oh yeah, that person's just being picky, or that person's just, or they're doing something else that's very annoying. We've all done this at some point, coughing. I have allergies, man. If I didn't stop and start, if I tried to do live stream, oh my goodness, sniffing, coughing, blowing my nose, even that, some people say, ooh, gross, you even said it. I agree. I do agree. But yeah, if I'm doing that the whole time, coughing up a lung, ooh, there's another gross one. But yeah, somebody should probably say, hey, would you stop talking about that? Constructive criticism. You get it, right? But no, not to these people. No way. The ones who are E-Beggars, the ones who are trying to, you're causing them problems. Okay, you're causing them problems. Yeah, because, they can't get their scam on. Anyway, so they intentionally do something annoying. After that, they continue to do it. They do it even more, it's because they had some group of people who were saying, who were on their side. So they'll just keep doing it more and more and showing that they can do whatever they want to on their channel. Well, this is true. Within limits, laws and guidelines and stuff like that YouTube puts up, and there's law, some stuff that's legal and illegal. Just plain and simple. But, within that, they'll do whatever they can to push it, so they can show that they are on top, It shows to me that they, some people will say that narcissistic people aren't much older than 2 years old, ever. I say they're more stuck. I've seen more stuck in the, the narcissistic, histrionic blend. They're stuck in rebellious teenagers. Yeah, and that's what this comes off as, a rebellious teenager. When somebody's giving you constructive criticism, like, don't use a certain funny voice, it sounds horrible. Or, laugh really loud and obnoxious. Say obnoxious things. Cuss all the time. Cussing all the time, that's an aggressive behavior, as it is. And for those same people who claim Many of these people will claim to be Christians, okay, because that also helps them out. And because true Christians, they don't have the habit, it might happen once or twice, but of using the Lord's name in vain. They're not in the habit of cussing, okay? You know, it's just not part of, because it's such an aggressive behavior. It's not assertive, it's aggressive. Tends to be. I cannot remember anything. I've cussed before. I don't like it. I don't like when I do. And I'm well aware that it happens whenever, in a certain time, and I need to get control over that. And when I am truly just tired, I'm tired, I'm worn out, I'm sick, I'm ill, or whatever. You know, there's no real excuse. I mean, that is an excuse. It is true. But I need to have control over that. Okay, so move on. And I think I've kind of mentioned these other ones. That sometimes they will actually say something in like one of their videos. Like I said, let's just say this is about 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years, however long. And it all starts playing out. But they'll actually make a video. And in that video, they make fun of their subscribers. The people who are actually watching them at that time. You know, not at that time, but I'm actually going to watch that video. They'll make fun of subscribers as if the subscribers aren't smart enough to be able to figure it out, that they're making fun of them. That the people or person or people on the video are making fun of the subscriber. You know? It's like, oh my goodness. And on that, they at some point they may become verbally abusive to various people, including some of those subscribers. Okay, seriously. Including some of their subscribers. And, I mean, just like all of a sudden, you see an explosion on the person making the video, one or both. They just explode, and they just become so verbally abusive. You know, it's like, whoa, what happened to your usual self? You knew that they had little problems here and there, but whoa, what's that? That kind of bad. Okay. Well, they may do all this and then some. You know, like I said, it can go over time. Because, yeah, I mean, I could see that they, you know, especially the ones that do live stream. I have actually done live stream when I was younger. Like I said, over 10 years on my original channel. August was, as in last year, was 10 years. So, and I did live stream probably within the first year. And once again, I did live stream at Dollar Tree. I did. I liked doing that. So, and I think maybe once or twice since then. But I'm not into it. Because like I said, with allergies and all that, yeah, it wouldn't make for a good video. You know, for good listening. You know, hearing me coughing up a lung too. Actually, mine is more about sneezing. And losing my voice, obviously. So, yeah. But anyway, so they go through all this. And there are other things, like I said, I haven't written them all down. They'll come up at some point. And, but they do things that, you know, at some point they are begging for things like remember a couple, and I'm going to put it in a different way, kind of composite. There was this couple I'd heard about. Somebody was saying, oh, look at the E-Beggars. So I went and watched this one. And it was a woman who's basically, she was, I would say probably in her 30s. And she had I don't know, I remember how many children. I don't like to talk about children, but she had a couple of kids. 2 or 3, I don't know how many it was. And, but the thing about it was that she used them, okay? She said that her husband left her and the kids alone. You know, he left. And, you know, it can't be reached. She doesn't know, this kind of thing. She's kind of like some kind of a stereotype. And, you know, of course, she had her peeps, my peeps. She had, subscribers who had been watching her for a long while. And something, when she mentioned this, not long after that, I'm talking like maybe a few days or something, she starts talking about something in their home went bad. And she can't reach her husband. And she doesn't have the funds for it. You get the gist, right? You get the griff, the drift. But yeah, so she went on. And the her subscribers helped, many of them pay for it, a new one. It was some expensive item. I don't remember what it was. I really don't. This was, I don't know how many years ago. Everything's going to be within the 10 years. And then somebody, somebody just going really fast over here. But somebody found out that she was lying, that her husband was still with her. Now, how they found that out, I don't know. Are they stalking people? That's not invasion of privacy and all that. Yeah, that might actually be illegal. But somebody found out she was lying, that her husband was still with her, and that was just their way of e-begging, scamming, whatever you want to call it. So they could get that item that they really needed. There was really a problem, you see. But it's because her husband wasn't making enough money. She wasn't working. And that was the truth, that they just were being lazy. And they felt like, hey, our viewers can pay for it. You get the gist, right? Okay, but at some point, this kind of thing, they're going to e-beg. They're going to actually ask for something big. And sometimes it's somebody wanting money for they want cash. They want cash. They might say, well, we need this lawyer because of this legal, this situation. So, okay, there was a woman with I guess it was a mom with her daughter, so, a child. So, I turned it off. But anyway, and then at some point, here is one, like I'm talking about the part where, they're verbally abusive to some of them. They treat, sometimes act like their audience is too stupid to figure out, that they think that their audience is too stupid. They throw a temper tantrum and like their audience isn't up to their standard. The audience should be somebody at their caliber, and they think that they are way up there, with an attitude like that. I still can't do the voice that, it's a voice I often hear in doctors' offices or people working for a doctor's office, whatever kind of doctors it is. Not all of them either, but they cop a kind of verbal, the ones who do it, in the way that they speak. One of my sisters says it's all highfalutin. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, then, okay, let's move on to this. They do all this stuff. They use all this stuff. They act like they're superior to everybody, including the people who are giving them money. They might even lecture some of them. Say, "Are you sure you want to give that money?" They're not saying, "I don't want it." They're just saying, "Are you sure? You need to think that through." Like they're so giving and so, don't trouble yourself. And then, but they'll take it. Anyway. Now, here's something else, another part of this. Like when things start getting really bad, and they do, because at some point, so many people have gotten so tired of e-beggars, and maybe another one, and they run across this one, and they start spreading it. E-beggars, 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 the people who are tired of them. And they all come running, and they start leaving the comments. They start leaving real comments. And but they'll just do the thing of block delete. But then they'll talk about it. You'll never see those comments either. They'll talk about it as, You know, that these are cold-hearted people. These are people who don't, they don't know what, you know, what they're talking about, and they are hurting me. Oh, my situation and all this, and, you know, on and on. And, you know, like I said, you don't see the comment because the real ones, and it may have been real. I mean, I've seen that happen. They don't want you to see it because they want to put their own spin on it. You know, what does those comments actually are about? Not what you might read. If you read the comment, you might say, hey, that's constructive. Okay, can I say it? Criticism. If you read it, you would see that too. They weren't being rude. They were trying to tell you, hey, you got egg on your face. You know, or you are an e-beggar. That's all you're doing now. You stopped your job. You stopped working so you could just sit at home and do live streams, or sit at home and just do this, that, whatever it is, and get the money off of your subscribers, you know, to live on. Because some of them do that. And, you know, there might be people who do these Etsy stuff, which I'm not saying anything bad about anybody doing Etsy stuff. I've never, you know, really even looked at Etsy stuff. So, hey, you know, I'm not knocking them. It's a legitimate business. They're making stuff. But some people use it as a road to get to there. You know, to where and they do some of this stuff about, you're saying things like, these people who are ordering from me, they don't even know how to do it right. You know, everybody has to learn. Okay? But they're bad-mouthing their customers. Wow. You know. Anyway, so at some point, you know, those people who are tired of e-beggars start, like I was saying, they start leaving comments, and then that person making the video or people start lecturing their audience, lecturing their subscribers, their survivors too. They start lecturing them about how, you know, the people who do this lack morals. They lack, you know. They're not true Christians. And then the person who's making the video, or people, they'll start acting like they're Christians. You know, the ones that have been taking the Lord's name in vain and has been cussing and has been showing really bad behaviors all around at times. They're suddenly very Christian. And they have the right Christian attitude. And they're going to make a point of showing their Christianity. Now, people who are really, truly Christian, from what I understand, I consider myself a Christian. I'm not a really, really, really good Christian. I mean, I don't do things bad. I really don't. I don't have any intention of it. But I don't know enough. That's how I feel. I don't know enough. But like this, that really, I didn't know this until a few years ago, that true Christians, they do charitable work, or they give to charity. I did all that. Well, see, I shouldn't say that. And that was the point. I didn't know that you shouldn't say it. Seriously. I did not know that when you do something charitable, as a Christian, you don't mention it. You don't tell people. You did it for its what it's worth for the other person, the other people. You're not doing it for your own, you know, to be glorified, or to, you know, you're doing God's work, not your own, not to make yourself look good. You know, that's the same thing with prayer. I did not know. This is what I mean when I say I'm not that good. I did not know that when you pray alone. You don't do it so the whole world will see. You know, say, oh, listen to me, I'm going to start praying. You know, I mean, I think it's some people who are more of a teacher. What would it be? What is the word teacher? I think it was. Have you watched that show, The Chosen? It's a series. I think it's on season 5 right now, maybe. I don't know if it's come out yet or not. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful about the apostles, and what do they call them, apostles? The chosen. Yeah, I used to get that all confused, and I think I did again. So, yeah. Anyway, but that's a good place to learn some of these things. That wasn't where I learned those two, though. But yeah, it makes sense. Why are you praying? So everybody's going to glorify you to be such a good Christian? And I will say things that every once in a while about Christians, that's inappropriate. Like I do videos on narcissistic people and people, like with those bad kinds of behaviors. And I'll mention, go to 2 Timothy 3. And so many people would go, wow, man. Because some people think that's all something new. Terminology may be new. They've changed, but it's not a new thing. And it even goes back further than that. So, but anyway, I was getting back to this. The lectures, the audience. They lecture their audience. And then they'll go and they'll start acting like they are the ones who are the most moral, have the highest morals. They're the ones who are the best Christians. The person making the video. And they're talking in a way down to their audience and lecturing them, not as a teacher, but lecturing them as you're inferior. And now I'm going to lecture you and tell you how it's supposed to be done. That kind of way. Not as an educator, but more of I want you to recognize my superiority first, before I tell you how you're supposed to live your life. That kind of bad attitude. Okay, and by this time, usually they have already started to move, the person making the videos, they have already started to kind of move to a different direction. Instead of what they've been doing all these 2 to 3 years, maybe they've gotten a little burnout, or because somebody has been finding them under whatever it is, they kind of shift gears. It could be within the same genre, but a different keyword. I think that's the best way to put it. So they start to move to that new bit, and they start all over, usually with quite a bit of a new audience, new type of audience, looking for, like I said, that different genre or the different search keyword. So, and lather, rinse, repeat. You can go back and check on them years later. I've done this, and they're still working it. Still working it. Anyway, I think I've done enough on this for now. Might have more another day. I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.